Okay, I'm going to get started.
Just tell them to switch off the phone.
Oh, yeah, can everyone switch off their phone, please? First of all, I'm just going to say a little bit about my background. I've been practicing for about 34 years. I basically started as a RA nurse. Then I went on and I did natural therapies. From natural therapies, I went on and I did a counselling degree. And then from there, I went on and I did kinesiology and TCM. So I've always specialised in hormones, that's what I do, and I have done for about 30 years. So most of my clientele, I do see men as well, but most of my clientele, of course, are women, especially women that want to get fertile. So I see a lot of infertility, a lot of menopause, a lot of just hormonal related problems like skin disorders related to the hormones, depression related to the hormones, sleep problems related to the hormones. And what I do is I do a combination of treatment. So when a person comes to see me, they'll usually get homeopathic remedies. So I'm a big lover of homeopathic remedies. I did a lot of time in India. I did 9 years on and off in India, in off-street clinics, working with medical doctors with just homeopathy. And I do acupuncture. So I'll often do acupuncture for fertility. So we've got to be aware of what we're doing, and we've got to meditate every day. And just the pressure is enormous. Like, of all these things we're supposed to be doing to be better people. But what I get a lot of the time is people that come to see me have the idea of what they want to do. They know what they'd like to do, but they don't have the motivation to get up and actually follow us. And then they're back to their old habits again. So I want to come from that perspective today. I don't want to talk about a detox. I don't want to talk about a diet, because there's heaps of it out there. We're confused. We don't know what to do. So what I want to talk about today is why people don't have the motivation, they don't have the ability or the positive outlook to get up and do it. Or to, once they start doing it, maintain it. You know, a lot of people that I see, they start doing stuff, then they go away on holidays, then they collapse. And then when they come back, they can't get back on it. So, you know, it's going to upset that balance of hormones. It'll upset catecholamines like GABA and serotonin. It'll upset all of those, so your mood changes. So DHEA deteriorates with age, so it peaks, of course, when we're 20 to 25 and then starts to decline. It's made by your responsible for all of this central nervous system. DHEA is very, very important in things like motor neurons disease. So it protects you from motor neurons disease. Why? Because it's involved in something called phosphorylation. That is all your cell membranes. So you know when you've got your nerve fibers, they're all myelinated, they're all, you know, protected by myelin. That's very important. DHEA responsible for cholesterol treatment. Lipitor, you know, is probably one of your biggest statins that you can take. The problem is with statins, it lowers your DHEA levels. So it doesn't actually treat the problem holistically at all. You end up, especially men that go on statins, their libido and their sex drive just goes because it affects the DHEA, which affects their testosterone. Then we've got immune response. It's very important for your white blood cells and also your red blood cells. Very important for maintaining your immunity because it has that link with vitamin D. One of the things, again, with vitamin D that I see is when kids come to me and they've got allergies, or they've got poor immune systems, or people that are regularly getting colds and flus. And you know what it's like in this country. I've never seen a country like it, where things just go round and round. You know, in Australia, we don't have influenza A anymore. That went a long time ago. But for some reason in this country, we still have it. And of course, tomorrow you'll get Tamiflu for that treatment.
I need another pair of hands.
Sure.
No, that's okay.
Alright. DHEA decline. The thing with DHEA, you can see it peaks at around 20 to 25 and then just slowly starts to decline. By the time you get to say 55 onwards, you're pretty low in DHEA. And most of the time at that age, you'll have higher cholesterol levels. And you'll usually be on a statin of some sort. So what we need to do is we need to prevent that steep decline. And as I said, for men, it'll be balding and tummy, but for women, it will usually be depression and poor libido. Like no sex drive, no endurance at all. DHEA deficiency, this is what it can do. You've got cholesterol lowering medications can reduce DHEA, which is your statins primarily. If you're DHEA deficient, it can increase a risk of loss of cancers. You know, one of the treatments that I give for cancer prevention or cancer is heaps of vitamin D. Loads of vitamin D. It's the one thing that will protect you from cancer. You know, it keeps your immune system strong and regulates your liver. So it's like breast cancer. Look how much breast cancer we see. One of the things about breast cancer is estrogen. You know, one of the things, if it's receptor related, hormone receptor related, it'll be too much estrogen in your body. Now the thing with estrogen, it's a steroid hormone. So again, it's an imbalance in steroid hormones, which can link back to DHEA deficiency. You've got ovarian cancer, prostate cancer. Because one of the things about DHEA, it prevents testosterone being broken down into dihydrotestosterone, which is DHT. And what that does, when it gets broken down rapidly, it swells your prostate and gives you things called BPH, benign prostate hypertrophy. So, and coffee. Even the Thais are getting into coffee now. It's become a phenomenon here. So, and it's because we're all adrenal insufficient. We're all tired. We all have too much cortisol. And we all have this perception our lifestyles are stressful. Our life is stressful. If you have a perception that your life is stressful, your adrenals will actually get affected, I promise. So a malnourished, we see it commonly due to overstress, of course, malnourished lifestyle, and it quickly reduces your DHEA. Malnourishment means just lots of fast food, not enough fruit and vegetables, and living on too much, in this country, too much rice. Not enough vegetables. Other diseases linked, lupus. I see lupus a lot now. You know, then you'll know if you have lupus. Because if you go high stress, poor sleep, can cause cortisol levels. Do you know what I commonly see with cancer? 2 symptoms that come all the time with someone that has cancer. Poor sleep and long-term constipation. Every single time that I see someone with cancer, that's been their long-term time symptoms. Constipation. Poor sleep, constipation. People that are constipated, it's not just diet. When they're stressed, and you think about it, running from a tiger, you're never going to poo when you're running from a tiger. You're going to poo as soon as that stress is dispersed. Straight away, instantly. All your bladder and your bowels will give way. Straight away. But never when you're in fight and flight, ever. So, you know, you don't want that. If you've got stress levels and you're perceiving your lifestyle as stressful or your life as stressful, you need to change it. And it's not about being mindful and meditating for long hours. It's about just doing it. Or infertility. If you have a depletion of estrogen at menopause, what you'll end up with, is vaginal dryness, and your skin will atrophy really quickly. So your skin will deplete very quickly, and you'll end up with hot flushes and poor sleep. So it depends what age you are. If you are estrogen excess in relation to men, then you'll end up with boobs. When you were younger and you want to start getting pregnant and be fertile, one of the things you're going to have to look at is DHEA, because if you've been on Ritalin, that will cause you to be infertile. Guaranteed. Muscle tension is another, which you commonly see in the shoulders and the neck. To break down protein at all. So it's no good. So yeah, they wanted to bring on all of that, and because I'd asked her to get this test, she insisted to get this test. Anyway, we got the test done and it came up positive. So we had high H. pylorus. And since he's removed it, it's a lot better. No more bruising, no more gastritis. So you have to check for parasites, because parasites will play a huge role in your gut, and they'll play a huge role in leaky gut. Especially parasites damage your colon. They damage your mucous membranes. So what they actually do, they make pores. They make pores or just general intolerances, because you produce a lot of secretory IgAs in your stomach because of it. And that will give you that intolerance. Bloating, burping, gassy. If you've got any burping or any bloating, go and get yourself checked for H. pylorus, because it will usually come with burping.
How do you get this?
You get tested, you go to a hospital, you get a breath test, which tests your acetates. Yeah? If they're above 18, your hydrogens, then they'll usually say that you're H. pylori. But by blood, you're testing the antibodies for H. pylorus. But it will affect your colon, I guarantee it, and will make you malnourished. And that's the problem with leaky gut. It makes you malnourished. So you might be eating really recommended, and the reason I don't is your blood alters all the time. You've got concentrations of a nutrient in the blood and out of the blood all the time. So it's a real hit and miss with my blood. The best way you can do it is either by urine, which is your metabolites, or by hair, which is hair analysis. And you take the hair closest to the scalp, the fresh hair, and that will give you a more accurate read in the blood. Blood doesn't. It really doesn't. Firstly, as I said, and your blood sugar imbalances are all adrenal stresses. So make sure you have something that stops you from actually having those highs and lows. So even if it's just eggs, you know, or even if it's
Yeah, that was that.
yes, sunbury.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Sunbury.
I went down to just have space.
It can be, but if you are doing plant-based, then I would suggest that you do supplement with something like Sun Warrior, which is a protein powder made from rice. So I'd actually recommend supplementing, especially after exercise, because that's when your blood sugar is going to drop. So it basically prevents that blood sugar drop and also maintains oxygen and blood in the muscles. So I highly recommend it, but it does stabilize, because the thing with protein, it has a slower release, whereas carbohydrates just have a fast release, and you can't get away from that fat. So the thing with vegetarians and vegans, I've only eaten meat for the last 10 years, for the rest of my time, 45 years, so I was going to country towns, and I was traveling a lot. And I was living on, trying to get a vegetarian meal in a country town in Australia as soon as possible. So I'd have it like a lettuce sandwich. That would be my meal. So I would drop weight really quickly all the time. Whereas now I think with protein, it's stabilized much more. I have more muscle mass, I have more. It really does. I've been experimenting, which I'll come into. Increasing collagen formation. How many people take collagen powders? It's huge now. I want good skin, so I'll go on collagen. It's okay, it's fine, collagen's okay, no problem. But you need to look at whether your DHA levels are okay first. And looking and feeling leaner. One of the things about DHA is you will feel that you will get leaner. And I'm going to talk about carbonol just towards the end. Because if you mix, for women, and weight loss, if you mix DHA and carbonol, which I'm going to talk about, and vitamin D, the three, combined, you'll lose weight. If you're exercising, you will lose weight. It helps you actually break down fat mass. DHEA for men, it's very important for men. It assists in muscle mass to test your testosterone levels. That's the testosterone coming from his testes, and the DHEA will measure the testosterone coming from his DHEA. So they'll give you two readings. Absolutely terrible. His DHEA levels were 67. They should be like 150 plus. His vitamin D levels were 16. They should be 40 plus. And his testosterone was like 2.2 or 50 plus. So low. So I said to him, you need to, and it's not very often I do this, but I said, you need to go to that testosterone clinic, get the treatment for a month. So they're going to give him testosterone injections, DHEA in a supplement, and I'm giving him vitamin D. And I said, the reason I want you to do that is I know that after a month, you're going to feel so much better. And then after that month, we're going to maintain it some other way by improving your adrenals and improving other areas. But I wanted him to get drains. And then you can use adaptogenic herbs, which I'm going to talk about. Adaptogenic herbs are simply repairing your adrenals. That's all they do, is they improve your adaptability. That's why they're called adaptogenic. So they're just simply for your adrenal glands. An anti-inflammatory diet is very important first off. So an anti-inflammatory diet is primarily taking away food sensitivities as much as possible. Like, as I said, gluten. Gluten can cause a lot of inflammation in your body. Because what it does, it agglutinates with blood. So it gives you thick blood. And it can produce cytokines. And cytokines are inflammation. They produce inflammation in your body. And one of or maca, you can go maca, which is the yam family, and that's okay to use. You've got eggs, organic butter, and coconuts. They're all fats. So fat will increase DHEA. That's it. If you're looking at what to put in your smoothies, so we've got, these are all 8 nutrients and foods that can boost your motivation. I won't run through these, I'll just talk about the supplement, B6. B6 is very important for maintaining psychological problems. They've done a lot of research on B6, and B6 is very important for schizophrenia, bipolar, manic depression, which is the same. Any kind of depression, B6 is very important for your brain. It's very important for protein digestion. It's very important for protein absorption and metabolism. So any of those, that's B6. Omega-3 fatty acids. Zinc is the other one. Zinc is very important for fertility. It's very important for male sperm. It's very important for kidneys in Chinese medicine, to protect kidney qi. It's very important for DNA production. Zinc is a highly important trace mineral that we don't get enough of. Because how many people eat nuts and seeds? Good. I love seeds. My breakfast is just seeds. That's all I do, just seeds. And papaya. That's it. And I find seeds are a really good fibre to make you go to the toilet regularly. Very important to keep your bowel clean. Vitamin D. There's 2 things really for vitamin D. I don't really see anything else being high for vitamin D, but eggs are. Eggs are very, very rich in vitamin D. And you're better off to eat the whole egg, because if you do have cholesterol problems, sort it out. Get your liver function moving. Look at your adrenals. There's a reason you've got cholesterol problems. So sunlight, of course, is another. Sunlight's very good for us, because if you live in countries where there's no sunlight, you get things like SAD disorder. SAD disorder is simply where there's no sunlight. So you're not getting that serotonin or melatonin response. So magnesium is the other one which I give a lot to people. Magnesium is very important for metabolism. It's important for your thyroid. It's important for every muscle in your body, whether it be your heart muscle, whether it be your skeletal muscle, whether it be your smooth muscle, for your digestion. Very important for your arteries, because they're all made of smooth muscle. So if you're not taking magnesium and you are getting tension headaches, or you're tense around your shoulders, or you're tense around your body, magnesium is probably your depletion. Look at your nails in magnesium. If you've got steps, the steps go across the nail, not back. Very important for rashes on your skin. Magnesium is a big thing for skin, and you see it a lot. So magnesium is vitamin B9. So it's a B vitamin. It's very important for fertility. It's very important during pregnancy to protect things called spina bifida. It's very important for blood quality. So people that may be possibly thalassaemic, which is a genetic blood issue coming through the family tree, are often folate deficient. And they need to supplement folate daily. Otherwise they have problems. But folate is very important for your brain and brain function. It helps with dementia. So if you get dementia, have you ever seen people get alcoholic dementia? Or alcoholic Alzheimer's? So very important to get it. Selenium is the other one. Selenium is a trace mineral. It's an antioxidant. So it's very important in this environment when the pollution goes high, which is a mystery. Nobody seems to know why. So selenium is very important for protecting you. If you have thyroid antibody issues and they're too high, then selenium is what you're depleted in. So when you take selenium, it reduces thyroid antibodies. If you have Hashimoto's, that is. Okay? Vitamin C is the other one. Vitamin C, as you know, it's an antioxidant. It's very important for collagen formation. So if you are wanting collagen, then look at the levels of vitamin C as well. It boosts your immune system, so it helps kids prevent them from getting colds. It's interesting because it brings me back to, I'm 56 this year, okay? So I'm menopausal. I've gone through, I'm postmenopausal. And started to feel like something was missing in my body. I was a bit tired and I was losing motivation to go to the gym, and I always go to the gym. And I exercise and I meditate, and something was missing. And I thought, wonder if it's my DHEA levels. So when I got them checked, and they were low because I've always had a quite high stress job. So my adrenals, I live on adrenal tonics. And so I thought, I'm going to try supplementing it. So what I did was I got a 5 milligram DHEA online. The lowest, I started using a 5 milligram every day just to see how it makes me feel. And one of the things I've noticed is brought back my motivation to how I used to be. And it cleared my mind, because I was getting a foggy brain and just not myself. And it's given me my drive again that I didn't have. But I'm only on 5 milligrams. So I don't plan to use it long term. I plan to use it to build up and then look at my stresses as well and combine it more. But you can get all kinds, you can get 5 milligrams to 100 milligrams. I would say get the check first, start on a 5 milligram or a 10 milligram and see how that is. And if you need more, you can always double the dose if you get a 10 milligram or a 5 milligram, rather than getting a high milligram and then it upsetting the balance. And for women, you've got to be really careful, because if it does upset the balance, you'll end up with hair loss and hair and things like that. For men, it's often not a real issue. So if a man has really low, I would start on about probably a 10 milligram to a 25 milligram per day. And you can get them online, and it's better to get the enzymatic DHEA. Yeah, if you can. Any other questions? It's not an expensive supplement. It cost me maybe 170 baht for 60 caps. Wasn't much. So I actually got 3 because, with getting it into the country it's hard. But yeah, it's easy to get. So I heard DHEA 5 milligram and it will bring up. If it's a 10 milligram, they've got Jarrow, it's a 10 milligram enzymatic DHEA. But I just thought I'd try it for about 6 weeks and see how it goes. It definitely cleared my head, and I've definitely slept better with it, I have to say. Yeah. Yeah.
I was recently talking to a friend of mine who like to start out in nurse and then nutritionist and all this thing, and she's saying they need to supplement almost everyone needs to supplement because it's not the studies are just that our food today has lost a huge amount of nutrition. So we need to suggest everyone to take supplements. This is in general, but
Actually, talking about depletions in soil, saying, there is this depletion in soil, and it's everywhere. We're renowned in Australia and New Zealand to have a depletion in chromium and zinc in soil, completely. So most people are chromium and zinc depleted in New Zealand and Australia for that reason. Because there is a depletion in soil quality, we don't have homegrown vegetables. Because you don't necessarily need to extract something from it, like turmeric. You need to extract the curcuminoids from turmeric. Because the curcuminoids are an oil base, they need to be with an oil to extract. Vitamin D is not like that. So I usually say after dinner, or closer before you go to bed, with the calcium and magnesium or other minerals, because it helps with bones. Very much. Bones and muscles. Any other? What time? I make liquids. I make herbal formulas. So I usually live on a liquid, an adrenal liquid, which combines with Withania and Siberian and Gloviola and Romania and oats extract. And so I put them all together. Or you can get tablets, like in the shop there's a tablet called ginseng. What's it called? I don't know.